welcome to W Rated, the show where we willingly watch the world's worst rated movies. Today you've joined us on one of this year's Road to Razzies mini episodes. This is our annual season of episodes looking at the nomination for the controversial Golden Raspberry Awards 2025. For new listeners, I'm Daisy, and as always, I'm joined by podcast co-creator, host of it, Claire. Claire, would you like to tell us what film we're talking about this episode?
In today's episode, we're going to be covering some of the actor categories of films we've not been able to talk about yet. So starting out, we're going to look at the category of Worst Actor, which features Jack Black for Dear Santa as Satan, Zachary Levi for Harold and the Purple Crayon, Joaquin Phoenix in Joker for Leia, Dennis Quaid as Ronald Reagan in Reagan, and Jerry Seinfeld in Unfrosted. We have already done episodes on Unfrosted, Reagan, and Joker for Leia, so we might touch on them, but do go back and listen to those whole episodes. But let's talk about Harold first, because I watched this one most recently.
Yeah, me too.
Harold and the Purple Crayon, Zachary Levi as Harold. This one was a funny one for me because I have no interaction with the source material.
No.
But I just couldn't understand who this was for because it's a little kid's cartoony book. And then they, as every fucking film does, they bring the book into the real world. Just once make a story of an adaptation of a game or a book or a piece of property and have it in the real world. Like, as much as I adore the Barbie movie, at least they went back to Barbie Land, thank God. If they just spent the whole movie in the real world, I would have been so angry. But at least that found a balance. It's like the Smurfs. Oh, the Smurfs go to the real world. Hop, the Easter Bunny goes to the real world. Sonic goes to the real world. I'm like...
Was you thinking James Marsden?
I was.
That's exactly the way my brain went. But you're right. I feel like it's just like a cop-out so they don't have to spend a lot of money building the world.
At least the new Minecraft movie looks like people are going to the Minecraft world.
Right.
But yeah, I have a real bugbear for that. And like, I love the Sonic films and I love Barbie, so it can work, but it's a real bugbear of mine. In general, I'm like, if you're adapting it because you enjoy the source material, why are you then taking it away from the source material?
I just don't know. Who decided that this was something that needed to be adapted?
But then... yeah, so it takes it up into the real world. So then I feel, and all the characters are adults, so it feels, it doesn't feel adult, but...
well, there's the kid.
It doesn't feel adult, it's the wrong way to say it, because it's in no way adult. It's very silly, very kiddies, but I don't think a kid young enough to enjoy the source material would be able to engage with these characters. And I think kids old enough to engage with these characters would find it too stupid.
Yes, and even without the source material, even if you're going in without knowing what the book is... The point still stands in that the story itself, the story itself and the fact that most of them are adults except for one kid, and the point of it all feels a bit too mature for the target audience.
I would have assumed to be 4 and 5 year olds.
Yeah, because the premise is a boy that has a purple crayon that can draw anything. That is appealing to your much younger kid demographic, but the way they've set the story up was about him finding his father/God, and it was about grieving your dead parents, and the moose and the porcupine were people now, but the way that they were acting was very childish, so it was just, the execution was childish, but the point and the setup and the world was too mature for them. So I have no idea, unless it was a very specific age, like 7 or 8, and a particular type of child. I just don't see how this has any mass appeal whatsoever.
It did remind me, though, it just made me remember that as a kid, I adored the TV show Penny Crayon, which was about a little girl who had a magic crayon. But it was a 1980s British TV series, and I was like, I wonder if that's a rip-off. But nothing about it says it's a rip-off. It was just part of, they also had Jimbo and the Jet Set and the Family Nest, and I highly recommend Googling the theme tunes to both of those shows. Just great, solid fun, just I love them. Anyway, so that was a slight tangent, but it's only nominated for Zachary Levi, which actually surprised me. I would have assumed it would have more noms.
I think it should have got more, definitely.
But talking about Zachary Levi, he was doing the sexy baby trope, and whilst... Well, he was, wasn't he?
Yeah, I
He's
just
like,
forgot about that. Yeah.
I'm a hot man with the brain of a baby.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing for the whole film.
Which is his shtick now, apparently.
I'm really glad that they didn't have him and Zooey Deschanel hook up, because I really thought that's where we were going. I really thought she was going to fall in love with him, and respect to the filmmakers that they were like, no, that's not happening. I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, Zachary Levi now is a bit of a douchebag, he's a bad guy, he's a massive Trump supporter, anti-vaxxer, has said some shitty things, like a co-worker died, a beloved Broadway star, and he said the reason they died was because they got the vaccine, and all the other Broadway stars were like, don't you fucking dare say that about him when he can't defend himself. So it seems like he's an absolute arsehole. But I have many a times had a massive crush on him. He's Flynn Rider. He is stunning in The Marvelous Miss Maisel. I love the first Shazam movie. Even if he wasn't now quote-unquote bad guy, I still don't think he could pull this off. But I don't think he's as charming and delightful as he thinks he is.
We're looking at it the wrong way around. I think he became right-wing when his career fell off, not the other way around.
Absolutely.
So he's claiming all of this, that he can't get work because he's right-wing, but actually I think it was because for whatever reason... You never publicly
said any of that until your career started flopping.
Exactly. Like, everyone, like, thingies it back to him begging people to see Shazam 2. I don't know what else he was doing around that time, but he clearly... I don't know how much work that he was getting or whatever, but it sounded like his career was very much hinging on Shazam 2 doing well. And maybe that's what it came down to, because what we've got to think about is the fact that that's DC, and then you've got James, what's his name? Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, James Gunn.
James Gunn's come in and redoing it. I think he probably knew that his cash cow, what he saw was going to be set him up for a little while, because obviously they were meant to have Black Adam come in and all of this. That was all a bit of a mess because The Rock's douche, and then you've got James Gunn coming in and gutting out DC and starting things again. He really needed Shazam 2 to do well.
And just having a look at his filmography, and I actually think you've got that there, because I was like, he was starting to, like, Shazam wasn't the only thing, he was doing quite a lot, but Shazam, I do believe, looking at this, is one of the only things he's ever been the lead of. I think he's the only time he's ever been leading man, and I think he's much better as a character actor and as a supporting, and I guess he doesn't like that, and just saw that opportunity of becoming...
big paycheck and was just like, I want this to happen again.
I want to be the next Chris Evans. It's like, even Chris Evans is struggling to be Chris Evans, to be honest, but... like, he's not even getting that level of work. But that was to say, like, I find Zachary Levi incredibly charming. His run in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, like, oh my God, marry me now. He's completely devoid of charm in this. And I know that it's probably because he's doing the sexy baby thing, but I just was like, I need you to stop.
This is what he did in Shazam 2, though, and this is what... Did we do that last year for Razzies?
We did do that last year, and in the first one, it's a good balance between him and the teenager, whereas in the second one, the teenager is giving quite a mature performance, and he's like, I'm a 5-year-old.
Yeah. So I think that's... He's leaning into that, and he's not growing as an actor, and so he's just cashing in on that now. And... because of that, I actually don't think this necessarily deserves a nomination, because I think that's what the role called for.
I'm fine with it being here because it was a terrible performance, but I think it should be in a lot more categories. I think it should be in worst screenplay. I think if it would count for remake, rip-off, or sequel, I don't know, because it's more of an adaptation. But I definitely worst screen combo. I'd have supporting actor and supporting actress
I think
as well.
Zooey Deschanel should be nominated. I think she phoned that the fuck in.
She was
the
like,
most
how
monotone
have I
I've
ended
ever...
up here?
But hasn't she got a Republican husband?
Oh, probably.
I think so.
Because her and her sister said that they can't be called Nepo babies because their dad worked in film but wasn't an actor, so how can they be Nepo babies? It's like, because he was either a sound guy or quite a famous producer, and that literally helped you get auditions because he knew they were happening and he knew how to game the system. But he wasn't able to give you the job, but he was able to guide you through the system.
So, yeah, I might have just completely made that up. I don't know. But
she's married to one of the property brothers.
She is married to one of the property brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at that now. I mean, I don't know. Oh, he's Canadian, so I don't know. Consider right wing.
She seems pretty harmless. I just think she was there to
I
be...
think she said a few things recently where she just seemed a bit out of touch, so I wondered, I couldn't remember if it was that, or I couldn't remember if she was going around with these types of people as well.
I don't think so. I think she's just struggled to get work. Because she was doing the cool girl stick, which I loved. I loved her as cool girls in movies, but again, very rarely the lead in a movie. She was often second, third, fourth build. Then she did 500 Days of Summer, which got her a bit thing. Then she did New Girl. And whilst I do love New Girl is not as good as everyone says it is. I was there from the very first day. I watched every episode when it aired. I was there from beginning to end. I was loyal. But that show is a fucking mess. Like, it's so inconsistent. Yeah. There's terrible episodes. There's whole plot lines that just don't go anywhere. I don't think it's a good
show. I think the guys are really funny. In their own ways. Yeah. And I actually don't think it's good because of Zooey Deschanel at all. Yeah. She could be anyone.
So well, and that showed when she left on maternity leave and Megan Fox came in, and it was just as good a show, if not perhaps even better at some points. Right. But she's never been able to follow that up, whereas the lads from New Girl have gone on to do more and build more. She hasn't found...
What's his name? The guy that plays Winston.
Yeah, he just won an Emmy or something.
Nominated for an Emmy or something. Yeah.
He definitely got nominated, but I think he won.
Yeah.
So like most of them are going on to bigger and better, and she's not getting anywhere. But I also found the Porcupine girl. Oh my god, just what the fuck?
She's really annoying.
Really. And
apparently, she's in sex education.
Okay.
Apparently, she's
I did wonder if she was British.
Oh. Yeah.
It did annoy me as well. I was like, right, so in this imaginary world, Harold is a boy, so he comes out as a boy. Well, he was slightly grown adult-ish, comes out as an adult. But then the moose and the porcupine come out as humans as well. Why are the moose? We have moose and porcupines in the real world.
Money.
Why couldn't they? Yeah. And that's it. I was like, this film is so shit and so cheap, and I don't understand who it's for. Now, I will say one of my friends on Twitter, and I cannot remember who it was, because it might be Paul, but it could have been someone else. And someone with kids said that their kid really enjoyed it, that they took their kids to it and their kid had a great time. Don't know how old their kid is. So there were children out there who did enjoy it, so maybe they do exist. I just thought this was terrible, and if I was showing a movie to children, this would be very, very, very low on my list.
But I'm pretty sure, and I think it might have been one of our friends who said it before, about a film that I completely disagree with. It was about Mario, which I absolutely love, but he didn't like it.
A great time with Mario. I know who didn't like Mario.
But his point was, and a lot of people say this, is that just because children will enjoy you dangling keys in front of them, right? So it's not a bad thing to say. It's good that a child's enjoyed it, absolutely, because that's the point. But does that mean it has to suffer as a piece of art? It's almost like that's the lowest common denominator for you to tick the box and go, well, we've done our job. It's like, well, not really. You've done it, but not very well.
Children deserve good art as well.
Yes, that's the point that I was trying to make. I couldn't think of the words.
No, you got me there. Yeah, very, very true. But I just thought this was very stupid, very naff. I thought all of the acting was bad. I thought the direction was bad. It felt very much like a CBBC show.
Right, yeah.
Like in budget, in everything. So that's me on Harold.
Yeah, I don't think for me I didn't mind, like, as in, like, I didn't think the nomination. I would have nominated Zooey Deschanel, not him.
Yeah, I would have nominated the whole cast, and then we've got worst screen combo as well.
Worst screen combo between him and the fake moose and the fake porcupine.
Yeah, 100%. Also, they just forgot the porcupine existed for like half the movie, and then she turned up and they're like, yay! And I was like, this makes no sense. So my recommendation is everyone go and watch Penny Crayon on YouTube instead. Jack Black in Dear Santa as Satan/Santa Claus. I didn't care for Dear Santa. It nearly caused my boyfriend to have a mental breakdown. He cared for it so little. He hated it. And it was a funny one. So I think Jack Black is what's nominated here. He's got the only nomination. Now, we've spoken before that they've now said they will not nominate child actors, which I support.
Of course, yeah. If they nominated Robert Timothy Smith, I swear to God, I'll fight someone.
I think this is some of the worst child acting I've seen in years.
What? He's so sweet.
He was so irritating and weird. And why did he walk so funny?
Because that's how he walks. Because that's how Neil walks.
Right, you like Neil the elephant. You don't like him.
Okay.
Just like Neil the elephant.
Okay, so for those who don't know, the boy...
Is he an elephant?
Well, technically not, but look, I mean, just for Claire on the...
There's Neil the elephant.
So, Robert Timothy Smith, yes, is in this film. He plays Neil in Skeleton Crew. And anyone who knows me knows that I love Neil. And then when I was watching this, I didn't realise that was him. But then I recognised his voice and his mannerisms. And I was like, oh my God, it's Neil. So I basically watched this thinking it's basically Neil. But then I was like, but... a lot of the mannerisms are just this actor. So it's like, I just think because I already had that relationship with the actor and what he brought to that character, I probably oversaw a lot of bad things because I was just too entranced with the fact that it was the same boy.
I think this film had some of the worst acting I saw all year. I just thought it was atrocious. If I don't support being mean to children, well, I do actually because it's children's stuff. But they're old enough as well. I would have had this for worst screen combo. Just all of the kids, anytime they were on screen, I just hated it. The acting in this was awful. Would you say,
though, this can't be true because there are plenty of kids that are younger than this that can act. But it just felt like they were just kids. Do you know what I mean? Like they are actually the age that they're playing versus...
But I felt like I could see them acting. It felt like I was watching a school play. And they were like, I'm going to act upset now.
No,
I'm going to act like we're having a conversation together.
I get that, but I also think that that's partially because of the film itself. And the tone and the style of the way that it's filmed. It was very much for streaming, this film.
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah. Before we get on to Jack Black specifically, I kind of saw where it was going, but I was like, I don't think you should do that. But then they did, and I was like,
bad. The ending was not no.
Yeah, no. But I was like, okay, I don't think that's really the right message, but I get why you did it.
But also, I think, it goes in... I'm talking about the tone in a different way here, but like... Yeah. It is a little bit, I don't want to say edgy, but it is, it's a bit of a weird one where it's about kids, but it's not really for kids because it's got swearing and stuff in it. Yeah. But it's also got a little bit of like, not bad faith, but a bit...
It was wholesome. A war with itself because it wanted to be wholesome. The backstory is really wholesome and really... dramatic and very Hallmark movie.
Very Hallmark movie. Yeah,
and it's against itself because it's like I feel like they're like we have this really sad, sweet idea of a bereaved family and a kid who's just awkward and wants to fit in and just can't make it work, and parents who aren't very good parents, not for their own fault. They're not able to be present right now. And then you've got a dirty, filthy, jokey. Wasn't there a rape joke at some point?
Was there?
I'm pretty sure, because Tim was like, pretty sure there was like a paedophilia or like rape joke or something.
It's the Ricky Gervais one where he's just like, if I was a pedo, then you wouldn't have anything to worry about. That one, because the kid's chubby. Yeah. Like, that's the joke, which is, as I say, it's been done before by Ricky Gervais. So
but it's at war with itself, and so it's two halves that do not mold together.
Because then it's like, who's the target audience here? Because you know me, I can always find something to enjoy. So I'm not a typical audience member. If I'm trying to think about who this appeals to, what's the director done? The director's done Robbie Farrelly. He's done.
Isn't he one of the Farrelly brothers? Yeah.
Actually.
Like Dumb and Dumber, Shallow Hal. Yeah. But with his brother.
So Hall Pass. So he's done adult, like, raunchy comedies, basically, right? So I'm like, okay, so I'm pretty sure that they pushed that in the trailer
But this
from
is
the makers of blah, 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 blah.
This is only his second solo direction film.
But they wouldn't push that in the marketing, surely.
Oh, God, yeah.
In which case, you're getting the type of people who want to see adult comedies.
Yeah.
Watch trying to be a little bit of more of a wholesome family film.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't say that it's not that it's not family appropriate, but it's just, I don't think that the families will enjoy it because it's a little bit close to the mark. I don't think people who are coming in watching an adult comedy are going to find it entertaining at all. And
no,
then,
we didn't.
And then the problem is then it's like, as you say, it's at war with itself because it doesn't know what it wants to be. And then the whole thing kind of falls apart because it's not great acting anyway.
Yeah.
But I think Jack Black's just doing his Jack Black thing, to be honest.
So I at times thought Jack Black was great, and then at times found him really irritating, and I found his voice really annoying. He's like, I'm Jack Black doing Satan voice. And I was like, does that not hurt your voice? Like, very gravelly. But yeah, I didn't think he was particularly great in this, and like you say, he's kind of just doing his normal shtick. I didn't think he was the worst action I've ever seen. I think a lot of the issues, again, were script-wise. I think it was a real missed opportunity, though, and I think that's probably why he's here, because if you tell me that Jack Black is playing a version of Satan pretending to be Santa, I want a lot more than what this film gave me. You're right. I think that's why it's here, because it's such a missed opportunity. Yeah, no, totally. I feel you. And I think it kind of goes with the consensus at the moment with his career in terms of the choices that he's making and how this kind of not phoning it in, but just like, what's the word, rest on your laurels kind of. Yes, absolutely. Making money easily by just turning up and being yourself. Like, he's also nominated as Claptrap. Yeah, we spoke about that in the Borderlands episode. And I think it's a shame, because I think his most successful film of the last 10 years would be the Jumanji movies, where he's absolutely playing against type, and that's the absolute brilliance of that movie, is that he's so not Jack Black, but he is also still completely Jack Black. Yeah. So it's like, oh, it's a real shame that now you've just gone back to, like you say, just... But I wonder how many opportunities he gets to do something different. Absolutely, yeah. Very little, I'd imagine. And especially at his stage in his career now. I'd say he's got quite a hefty price tag attached to him as well, like how much he gets, and I don't know if he'd be willing to go back to the little small indies. I just don't even think that he maybe even wants to do that anymore. Yeah. He's quite happy to get his payday and throw his bandmates under the bus. Yeah. I mean, he spent the 2010s doing the oddball stuff, like the polka dot band one and the Bernie and all of that. Polka King, it was terrible. It was an absolute goddamn awful. When are we talking about 2010s, did you say? 2017. The Polka King, the greatest scandal in polka history, about Jan Luan, a Polish-American songwriter and polka band leader. Can't tell you anything about the film, but it was goddamn awful. I hated it. Oh. Never heard of it. Yeah, he did his weird ones in the 2010s, and I think he's here to get his money in the 2020s. Yeah. How old is he now? I want money too, Jack Black, so I get you. He is 55. And he's got Minecraft coming up as well, hasn't he? So, I mean, that's probably going to be more of the same. And wasn't there another Kung Fu Panda recently? Yeah, that was last year, like 2024. I wonder if he's just, like, raking in for his retirement now. Yeah, probably. And also, there is an element I was thinking the other day, completely unrelated, but also at the same time related, that, I was talking to our friend Billy about all the actors that are doing terrible advertisements now, and it makes me sad, because I remember when I was a kid and teenager, actors were actors and they did films. Yeah. And now they do, like, Kim Cattrall is doing, I know Kim Cattrall's not, Oscar winning, whatever, but she's a decent actress. She is doing a mobile advert for, like, Candy Crush or something like that, or like King, and I'm like, you wouldn't come back for the Sex and the City reboot sequel. I hate when people call them reboots and remakes, because I'm like, no, it's just a continuation. Apologies. You wouldn't come back to that because of your morals, and absolutely, as you shouldn't if you don't want to come back to it, because but you're doing this shitty mobile game advert. But to get health insurance as an actor, you need to make a certain amount of money. Ah, I see. If you're part of the Screen Actors Guild, in order to qualify for health insurance that year, you have to, because that was when the strike was going on 2 years ago. Kelsey Grammer's daughter, Spencer Grammer, who is an actress, she's done a few TV shows. She's in Rick and Morty this summer.
Oh, okay.
And she was also in the show Greek. She was in an episode of Grey's Anatomy. I really like the TV show Greek, which is what I know her from mostly. But she was like, I'm from a rich family. She's like, I'm from a dynasty of actors. My dad is one of the most famous. But she was like, I'm also a mum. And she was like, I need to be able to put food on my table and pay for my health insurance and my children's health insurance. She's like, I'm really lucky that I have money for coming in from Rick and Morty. But she's like, without that money, she was like, I wouldn't have qualified for health insurance this year. She was like, there have been years where I didn't qualify for health insurance. And she's like, I'm lucky that I can go to my father for money. But so many actors don't have Kelsey Grammer as a dad. And I'm sure Jack Black isn't short on money, but health insurance is expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's why we're seeing so many actors do so many shit films now, because the good films aren't out there, and the premiums are getting higher and higher. And it's
because I was like, I went to the wrong page. I was like, oh, that looks really low. Anyway, I was going to say that I saw a really interesting post the other day about how the concept of selling out isn't a thing anymore, and how, you know, famous actors used to go to Japan and do ads. That's the whole, you know, lost in translation plot, because they would be seen as selling out to their fans if they did that, whereas now there's no concept of that. And I saw a comment that said, well, the thing is that selling out is the new aspiration, because when people want to be YouTubers and influencers, that whole premise is built on being paid by corporations. So now they don't care about that shit. Actors are able to go and do that because there's no shame in it anymore. Because before it would be, oh my God, you've taken money from a corporation, you're a sellout.
Yeah, you're never getting an Oscar now. No one that's done a face commercial is ever going to be nominated for an Oscar.
You're taking advantage of your fans and all of this. Well, now you've got like Mr. Beast and like all of these people where the whole thing is that the way, and everyone aspires to be paid by brands because they want to be the next YouTuber, and all they have to do is read out a sponsored ad on their YouTube video or their podcast, and they make money that way. So it's like gone from being seen as actually quite like gross to the epitome of how to be rich and famous now. So sad.
On being gross and the epitome of being rich and famous, shall we move on to our worst actresses this year?
Oh my God, who are you referring to?
I don't know. Well, Jennifer Lopez is very rich and famous. So in Worst Actress, we have Cate Blanchett for Borderlands, Lady Gaga for Joker for Les Deux, Bryce Dallas Howard for Argylle, Dakota Johnson for Madam Web, and Jennifer Lopez in Atlas. We've talked about Borderlands, Joker, and Madam Web in their own episodes, so check them out. Let's start with Atlas, because Daisy has a lot to say about Argylle, so let's start with
I don't know if I've got anything left in me to say about it, to be honest.
So Jennifer Lopez nominated as Atlas Shepard in the film Atlas, a Netflix sci-fi movie that came out last year. I have realised I am a bit of a J-Lo stan. I just really like J-Lo as an actor, and I've not seen her good early 90s stuff, so this has inspired me that I'm like, I need to go.
Okay.
If they're saying that she's shit in this, and I really enjoyed her in this, I want to go back to the films where people were saying she was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, give me that good stuff. How did you feel about this?
I really liked it.
Me too.
I had a really good time. I thought she was great.
I thought she was really charismatic.
Yeah. I really liked this for her. I feel like this really suited her. It was something a bit different. And I'm not saying she's this is Oscar worthy or anything. I don't think the film was particularly brilliant, but I really liked the relationship she built with that robot.
Me too. To the point that then when she was on screen with Sterling K. Brown, who I do think is one of our finest actors, I got less vibes between them two than her and the robot.
Yeah. And I think there's something to be said about her acting against a voice.
And she commanded the screen.
Being able to bring about the kind of a relationship that made me a bit emotional at the end. I think she did a really good job. Yeah.
No, I watched the first half by myself, and then himself joined me for the second half, and he was like, oh, this is alright. He was like, and I said, for me, Atlas is the perfect film to go around to my aunt, when I lived in Ireland, go around to my aunt and uncle's house, order a Chinese and just watch it together. Because we've all got really different tastes. They just like to watch something new. And that's a perfect Friday night Chinese movie. Just get a takeaway, sit with a couple of people that you will, and just enjoy it.
I think people underestimate. I don't want to say they underestimate her generally, because I know there's a lot to be said about her singing, but I think people probably just saw J-Lo leading in a film. They went in thinking this is going to be shit, and they kind of went in with a bit of bad faith, because I think if you go in with an open mind and see, I think she really did a good job with this. Like I say, it's not the best film in the world, but I think it's a nice little, it's different enough. I think what they did well was that they didn't try and make it bigger than it was. What they did was they set up the story, and then they focused on the relationship between her and they set up the character well, to say she doesn't trust the AI stuff. They set up the world well by having certain things that are quite unique looking and things like that, without going too over the top. It knew what it was, and I think it did well within the box that it had. I think as much as Sterling K. Brown, I think he is good. I haven't seen him in a bunch of stuff, but I know that he's well lauded. I don't think the villain was particularly
Simu Liu is the villain,
written very well either, but the way that, like, doesn't Sterling K. Brown kind of come in and end up like being a bit of the villain as well? Doesn't she double cross her?
No, he helps her at the end. You think he's dead. She finds him. He's the one that's like, I don't want you to. He's like, I
maybe I thought that's what's going to happen. It was a long time ago.
Wonder, but no, he got captured, and then at the end he helps her escape.
Right. It was a long. I watched this when this first came out, because I've forgotten Simu was even in this. I think. So I think. It does well. It differentiates itself enough, whilst also delivering on what it promises. I think. It doesn't try and overpromise anything. No. It doesn't underdeliver on the things that it sets out to do. And given that so much of the film is focused on her relationship with a voice, which is meant to be AI, I think she did a sterling job.
Me too. And we all know I'm not mad on sci-fi, but I was thoroughly engaged, really enjoying it, and
because it lent on the human side of it more. It had the cool stuff, but it wasn't just like cool visual. It was about her relationship with this AI and how it evolves, and it was a survival story, so it did really well.
When I was watching it with him, he did say, he was like, I think it knows what it is. It's leaning, like, exactly. It's very silly, but it seems to know it's very silly.
That's like, exactly.
I
was pleasantly surprised by this, actually.
Me too. I think it was probably my favourite of the ones that I watched specifically for this. I'm really glad I watched
you felt the same, because I was we hadn't spoken about it going in, and I knew this was one that I rolled my eyes at the nomination, because I was like, of course, I don't think you people even watched this film or gave her a chance, because she did really well.
J-Lo innocent. One day we're going to talk about Jiggly, and I just can't wait, because in the time in which I've been saying we need to do Jiggly,
Ben
Affleck and J-Lo got back together, got married, and have since got divorced. Just
brilliant.
Okay, then our next one that we haven't spoken about is Bryce Dallas Howard in Argylle as Ellie Conway. I watched this last weekend with my partner, and he is still angry about it. I think that's why he enjoyed The Crow, because he was like, anything is better than that. Yeah. I know that I don't think I've ever seen you as angry about a film. I chose not to watch this originally because everyone said how awful it was, and nothing about it really intrigued me anyway. I wasn't interested in seeing it, and then when I heard how bad it was, I was like, well, I'm happy to not watch it. All of the marketing was trying to lead us to believe, they were like, who is Ellie Conway? And they were like, fucking people trying to tell you it was Taylor Swift, and really Taylor Swift had written this film, and all sorts of absolute bullshit nonsense. Just the internet, man. So I watched this literally a week ago for this. You absolutely hate this film. I'm sorry to say, I had a fun time.
Well, I watched it when it was out in the cinema, so what was that, over a year ago now?
Yeah.
I don't remember hating it at the beginning, but the way it ended at the third act, I despised.
I was into it, but I thought Sam Rockwell was so romantic, and I really liked their romance.
Sam Rockwell's innocent, for sure.
Yeah.
But
I had an argument because he said that Sam Rockwell was not attractive and what's wrong with me, and that Sam Rockwell was in no way attractive. And
it's not about his conventional look.
And that there was nothing charming about him. And I was like, he was so charming in
Sam Rockwell's very charming. Sam Rockwell's known to have been charming as a Nazi in Jojo Rabbit, so...
Oh my god, yes. Oh.
Do you know what I mean? No, but what I'm saying is his charm... Like, it knows no bounds.
Well, the partner of mine hated him. So,
well, sounds jealous to me. I can't really remember the first half of this. All I remember is being, and I think because it's like you've got fucking what's his name with the weird hair, and then you've got Dua Lipa coming in. I think my main, and when you said you never haven't seen me as angry, did I speak to you at the time that I watched it or something?
No, I think it's when we've been talking about the fact that we have to talk about it.
I don't even remember why I hate it so much.
You were like, I am not rewatching it. I'm not wasting more of my time on that movie.
Well, it's just the end, really. All I'll say is
I was into the end. I really liked the dance. I really liked them dancing with the smoke.
And it's very, very rare that this is my issue with films, because usually it's like, oh, visuals, that's what's going to keep me engaged. Fucking despised it. It was just like plastic. It was very
plastic. It was very plastic. And
the wig was terrible. All the wigs were terrible.
What wig were you mad about?
Wig. Her blonde wig.
But of course that was terrible.
What do you mean, of course?
It was meant to be a wig, so it didn't matter.
She was supposed to look smoking, and that wig did not suit her.
Well, neither did the dress.
Neither did the dress.
Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard is a very lovely, gorgeous, voluptuous woman, and they did not frame her right in this.
Because do you know why? Because they try and recreate what Dua Lipa was wearing.
Yeah, whereas it should have been the other way
around.
They're
very different shaped women. And
I felt bad for Dua Lipa, because everyone was giving Dua Lipa loads of grief for this. I was like, she was in one scene, and she was fine in the one scene she was in.
Because she was in the trailer, and like, I don't know what they were trying to. I don't know what they were trying to do with that.
Yeah, they fucked up with the marketing. Like, they definitely oversold what it was. But I genuinely found it quite fun. I enjoyed watching it. I had a nice time.
The first half, if I remember rightly.
Like, it was absolute nonsense, stupid nonsense. But I was
like, if I remember rightly, which I don't, because I don't remember the first half. I remember like them escaping and them doing all these bits and the cat and stuff. I just think it became a little bit like wink nudge, like I'm Matthew Vaughn and I'm making a call for, you know me, I make Kings, it felt very like knowing,
I don't like the Kingsman movies.
It felt very knowing without like, I don't know how to describe it, just very much like, isn't this kooky and funny?
Yeah, it's like, we're so
it's not.
Meta. We're so meta.
And then by the time it gets to the end and they dress her so poorly like that, and the skating thing with the oil and the awful music choice that does not fit the scene whatsoever, I was like, this is shite, I'm out.
Yeah, whereas I was just there for Sam Rockwell, and I love her and I love him, so I was there, scenes together, I was there for it. She's having a bit of a shit career when it comes to being an actress, but she is, if you look at the Star Wars TV shows, possibly one of our finest directors.
Yeah.
And so, can someone please just let her direct a Star Wars movie and save us all?
Well, she directed an episode of Skeleton Crew. Or is that what you're saying? She's just done the TV shows? She's
done a handful of Mandalorian episodes, and they've all been very much touted as the best Mandalorian episodes.
Her Skeleton Crew episode was very good.
Yeah, so it's like, can she just please let her go and direct a Star Wars movie? And then she won't be doing these quote-unquote bad movies. I don't even
think she was that bad in this.
No. I get why it was... I don't get why it was nominated, because I enjoy it.
I've just realised that I was writing reviews at this time last year, so let me see if I can... Because as much as this has been built up for me to be like really angry, it's so long ago that I can't remember it. It was so long ago. All I know is that I despised the second half. I've reviewed it. Here we go. Should I read it? Oh, here we go. It's quite long. I get Matthew Vaughn's visual style. After all, I'm a fan of Kingsman. Despite slight cheesiness, there was a coolness running through its veins. Here, not so much. Despite the Cavill lead Argylle fantasy being established as just that in the opening scene, the real world doesn't seem any more tangible. While that might be the point, I couldn't help feeling that it was going to cut at any point to all be revealed as a daydream. the big dance shootout set piece is the peak of surrealism, and it could have worked if they let into that more. Instead, it always straddles the line of not feeling quite real before deploying another twist. If you continue to twist, do you ever really go anywhere, or just round and round in circles? Howard's costuming in the later half of the film was a huge distraction, and I'm not sure the direction really worked for her here. Rockwell and O'Hara are solid supports, and Cranston does what he does best. There's a risk he's starting to get typecast. Was Bryan Cranston in this?
He played her dad / spy.
This shows how much I've forgotten about that, but I do actually, I stand by that.
I really agree with all that, actually, because, the whole thing of this film is that it's hyper silly and it's all her daydream, and then this is her real life, but her real life seems as hyper silly as the fantasy life. So, yeah.
So it was hard for me to, if it was all like, it was hard for me to kind of, it didn't take me on an up and down, take me on a journey. It was just like, this is happening. Kind of, and then that horrific visual of the oil and the ice skating at the end just was the cherry on top.
Fair. Yeah, I enjoyed it. No, I had a good time. I think I gave it 3.5 and then changed it to 3.
I gave it 2 at the time, so
because it's a bad movie, but I enjoyed it better than Ghosted. So that's.
I just can't remember why I hated it so much. It must just have been that last.
I still have wig rage about Fantastic Four. I know when a wig gets to you, it gets to you.
Yeah, I just knew at the time that I was in the cinema, I was fuming.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. I mean, he was as well. He was very unhappy with it, and it kept going on, and he was like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I think the thing with it is, it's got a very particular way about it, that if you're not on board with, it just goes doubles down, and so it doesn't give you any respite from that.
I love Kick-Ass, but I've only seen the second Kingsman movie and I hated it if it was awful, so very hit and miss on Matthew Vaughn for me.
But I think Bryce Dallas Howard's fine. I think they did her dirty, if anything.
Yeah, she's a sweetie. While we're on Argylle, we haven't spoken about Worst Supporting Actress category, but we've covered most of them. So we have Leslie Ann Down in Reagan, which we covered in our Reagan episode, Emma Roberts in Madam Web, which we covered in our Madam Web episode, Amy Schumer in Unfrosted, which we covered in our Unfrosted episode, and then FKA Twigs in The Crow, which we loosely covered in our Worst Remake, Rip-Off or Sequel episode. I don't feel like I have any more to say on that, other than she's pretty poor.
I unfortunately, I don't like to just trash someone without, explaining why. But there was no evidence to me that she can act in that film. Yeah. I'm not saying that she can't, but in that evidence, in that film, there was no good acting to be seen.
And so then our last nom is Ariana DeBose. So she was double nommed for Argylle, which we've just been speaking about, and Craven the Hunter. We loosely spoke about her and Craven the Hunter in the Remake, Rip-Off or Sequel episode. Ariana DeBose in Argylle, I don't think it's fair that she got a nomination because she was in 2 scenes.
Yeah, I don't really remember her. I think the problem that people I think the problem that people have is that she's just a bit meh. Yeah. She's not bringing anything specific. Yeah. I don't think that her, when someone just blends into a scene and you're like, they're not good or bad, I think she has a slight standout quality to not being good.
Yeah, that's because she's a wonderful actress in West Side Story. They've all told her Broadway work is equally as good. But yeah, she does stand out and she sticks out, and maybe that doesn't work in these kind of films and these kind of roles because, she's in the opening scene and she's in the closing scene, and that's pretty much it.
So I'm wondering why they bothered to nominate her.
I wonder if it's because also she was in Craven the Hunter. I don't know.
So it's like a double whammy or something. But I don't think she's bad. But like I say, I don't know what it is. There's just a certain quality where maybe she doesn't go unseen in these films.
She commands the screen, and that's not the right purpose for the role.
Yeah, maybe just because she's trying really hard or something. I don't know. Maybe she's trying really hard to do something. Theatre kid energy. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. But that's kind of it for the Worst Supporting Actress, because I don't have a lot to say about her. I just think it's a bit of a shame she got nommed, because I don't think she was in it enough to really warrant it. And so then our very last acting nomination that we haven't spoken about is in the Worst Supporting Actor, and neither of us watched the film, but we'll just quickly touch on it.
What is it?
So John Voight.
Watched them all.
Oh, did you watch Shadowland and Strangers?
I did.
Oh, Oh, okay.
If you could say watch, because we've got a 2-monitor set up in the living room at the desk. So what I did was, whilst I was planning my holiday, I had it on on the other screen.
Okay, so worst supporting actor, we had Jack Black in Borderlands as Claptrap, Kevin Hart in Borderlands as Roland Greaves, Shia LaBeouf in Megalopolis as Claudio Pulcher, and Tahar Rahim in Madam Web as Ezekiel Sims. We covered all of them in their own individual episodes. But then Jon Voight came in with a quadruple nom for Megalopolis, Reagan, Shadowland, and Strangers. We've talked about Megalopolis and Reagan. I did not watch Shadowland or Strangers because I felt like I'd done enough Jon Voight and I didn't realise we were going to talk about them. So Daisy, as a completist, the floor is yours.
This is the problem, is that I'm a completist, but at what cost? Because what can I add now? Nothing really. It's exactly what you'd expect. These are films that we'd never have heard of otherwise. And I was even really curious to look and be like, are these just all the films he was in 2024? There was one other one that says it had a 2024 release which wasn't in here. But I don't know if that's just because he hasn't got a big enough part in it or something. But again, it's just Jon Voight. Like,
it's baby Bruce Camp. It's the year that we had to do 12 Bruce Willis films.
Oh god, that was a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know what much they were. Your classic, what used to be the Razzies, right? That we did before, these DTV stuff. One of them, Shadowland, was about and he was playing an ex-president who thought he was potentially going a bit mad because he was like very paranoid about being killed on his, like, let's say, campus. What am I trying to say? So he, his ex-psychiatrist comes along to try to help him, and then that guy's ex-wife, who's a journalist, is writing his memoir, and basically it's about them two kind of trying to work out whether he is going mad or whether he is potentially going to be killed. And it's like an inside job. Like, his security guards have like sold him out to a guy that wants to kill him because he'd done like a dodgy dealing back in the day that got him like when he was in the war, he got like injured and stuff. It's like a anti-war kind of veteran, like revenge kind of thing. But it's a very classic like DTV kind of thing. But he was fine. Like, he's playing an older guy who thinks he's losing his mind and is paranoid. Like, it's nothing remarkable, but it's nothing particularly bad either. Yeah. And then Strangers is about a woman who's in an abusive relationship, and she meets someone at AA who turns out to be a hitman, and he tells her how to kill her husband, and then she falls in love with him, and she is then the honey trap for killing bad guys like paedophiles and things like that he does. But the twist is that Jon Voight is her friend from AA, and he's the last hit because he's been tied up with a lot of bad things like child pornography and all of this, but she can't believe it, so she kind of double crosses her new guy to try and get Jon Voight out, because she was like, you've got a chance to tell me what's going on, and he was like, I covered it up for everyone, I was deep with the mafia, I had to do it to save my life, etc. They both end up dying because there's a shootout between them, and she walks off into the sunset basically. I actually found the Strangers quite intriguing.
Sounds like an interesting concept.
I think the concept was quite interesting. I gave it a 3 because I was just like, it's very low budget, but I enjoyed the story enough. The acting was fine. And Jon Voight was playing, I think it's probably his best out of them all, playing this guy who's, her older friend from AA, and he's very like paternal towards her and stuff, and then it turns out, but he's only in like 3 or 4 scenes. Yeah. But I think it's probably the best out of all of them. I certainly wouldn't have bothered putting him in any of these categories. I think if you're going to nominate for those films, if you're going to nominate him, probably do it for the bigger ones where you expect a bit something more, like Megalopolis and Reagan. I think Reagan obviously is built from the accent, isn't it? So it's...
One day we do need to get in touch with the creators of the Razzies. They've been on our Friends of the Show's podcast before.
Oh, really?
But I would love to know a nom like this. Is it that he got nominated half and half for Reagan and half for Megalopolis, and so then they merge all of them together and throw in the other films? Like, I'd love to know how the multiple noms get in. I'd love to know the behind the scenes algorithmic.
It must be something like that. In that he got into the final noms because he was nominated so much for Megalopolis and Reagan, but then he also was nominated for those two as well, because it can't be everything, because there was another film he was in that he wasn't nominated for. So
interesting.
I think it's probably that if you get enough, you're
for
in
other things, and then they'll
put in everything that you're nominated for, which explains the Ariana DeBose.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I don't know, obviously, I don't know how popular these other films are.
That's what I mean.
Films are.
But maybe if two people nominated them and where he was already getting a nomination, they're
because
like,
a lot of the review, like, I've noticed that when I'm reading the reviews and letterboxes, people doing what we're doing and watching all the Razzies. So, but maybe we're just a bit out of it because it's more of a US thing. Yeah, some of these films, like you said, like I think you said The Strangest one was like a Paramount channel or something. So maybe they are literally TV movies, and people do actually genuinely catch them on TV. Maybe, but I don't know. For the sake of completing it and for having a few like sort of more traditional Razzie stuff where I wasn't really paying attention, they were fine. Like they were something that was, lower budget. They weren't brilliant, but they had interesting interesting stories. It was like a little novella kind of, I'm not expecting a huge thing, but it was like a little, when people go, oh, my grandma likes to read her stories. Yeah. That kind of
a Channel 5 afternoon movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, I didn't finish the Razzies this year. I've just been, I don't even know what I've been doing, to be honest. I watched a lot of these dentists, to be honest. It was the 40th anniversary. But so I did feel like these were a lot more traditional Razzies, not how we've done them in the past, but like they felt very much like big Hollywood movies being nominated, and was missing some of the DTV stuff. Yeah. Obviously, there was a lot less this year of them, so I missed the only two, so maybe that's why I feel like they were a bit more, like, not high calibre isn't the right word, but it did feel like they've gone back to more traditional Hollywood movies rather than picking on the little guys.
But I think it's because of pandemic that happened before, maybe, and just because we happened to start at that time. And also
the confusion of streaming, because streaming... Everyone's sort of understanding now the difference between streaming films and not streaming films, but then because of the pandemic... but because of the pandemic, everything got really mushed in there for a while. So very quickly, if we've still got you, lovely audience, the only award then we have not spoken about in any detail is the one that's yet to be announced, which is the Razzie Redeemer. So just as a quick pin to the things, I had a quick look at predictions. Have you?
Have you?
Yeah. Do you have any thing that you would guess before I tell you the top predictions?
So it would need to be someone that's done something in the last year that's good, that previously they've not been seen as very good.
Yeah. I wouldn't have guessed them. Okay. So the first prediction is Will Ferrell for Will and Harper.
Oh, good.
I don't think that will be it, because I'm not sure if Razzie voters will have watched Will and Harper. But it's a really lovely little documentary about a road trip with his newly out trans friend. I really enjoyed it. The big two are Demi Moore for The Substance and Pamela Anderson for Last American Showgirl. So I think it'll probably be Demi Moore for The Substance, because she is quite heavily likely to win the Oscar. And
so
I'd be really pleased for her.
Razzie-wise in the past then?
Striptease and something else. Okay. And she won it for...
Yeah, it'll be Demi Moore then, 100%.
So she won for the 17th, so 1997. She won it for Worst Actress and Worst Screen Couple, which is what used to be combo. So she got it for The Juror and Striptease, and for Couple with Striptease as well. Same year, though, Pamela Anderson was nominated for Barbed Wire that same year. So it would be interesting that they're both...
Might be a double whammy.
Pamela didn't make it to the Oscars this year, unfortunately. Last American Showgirl didn't get over the line, which I haven't been able to see yet, but it sounds like her performance is outstanding. But I'm so delighted for The Substance, because it was one of my favourites of last year. And also women and horror representation at the Oscars. Good Lord.
That's crazy, yeah. There are good things that could happen.
Yeah.
In 2025.
Yeah, so we'll look and see who redeems themselves this year in the eyes of the Razzies.
I'm glad you said in the eyes of the Razzies.
That is all for me. I didn't finish the Razzies this year. Shocking behaviour. Well done, Daisy, for ruining your life, as always.
And do you know what? it's funny because I was only able to do it because I was ill. Because I had a day off sick. I finished Craven the Hunter and watched The Crow. But the irony is that of the days I've been ill, including today, I think the day I had off ended up being the day I felt the best.
No.
And luckily I did, because I was then able to watch shitty films.
Yeah.
But I thought, do you know what? I'm almost there. Let's get over the finish line. Yeah. Just for the sake of being complete.
I just didn't want to watch Rebel Moon, to be completely honest.
But I think... Did we start with a similar number, or did I start with having seen more already?
I'd seen more than you, but you started watching them before me, so you overtook me very quickly. Right. Yeah.
So who knows what will come next year? Do you think there's been any so far that's come out that could potentially be in contention?
What's come out? Oh, Kinda Pregnant, the Amy Schumer movie.
Oh yeah, that will get ripped to pieces.
Yeah. People didn't seem to like The Gorge. I don't know anything about it, but I don't know if people haven't liked it enough for it.
I saw that people were quite surprised that they did like it.
Oh, I've seen a lot of people just being like, "Oh, it's not very good."
Okay.
But I don't think it's enough to not get.
No.
Minecraft movie, we will wait and see. Yeah, I don't know what else has already been.
But we'll probably end up watching a few of them ahead of time, and then.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated by this now. You've kept me online now longer than... Wolfman, but again, I think that people were just disappointed with that. I don't think people hated it.
So we've probably got next year's to come then, but...
Yeah, I think Kinda Pregnant's the only one. There's a new Jurassic World movie.
Oh, that's true.
That's coming up.
The category's calling its name.
And then we've got Snow White and Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, that will definitely be
one of them, if not both of them. A second Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, is it?
Yep, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is coming.
That's so South London of me to say that.
And potentially there was another one that I was like, wouldn't surprise me if that... Oh, Megan 2.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see how that... I really enjoyed the first Megan. Oh, and I really fucking hope that How to Train Your Dragon gets nominated for every award, because what a... Just
for the sake of...
Outrageously.
Every time they say something else, it's worse.
Yeah. And Ballerina. That could be terrible. The John Wick spin-off.
But we'll just have to see, but for now, this year's Razzies are... complete, so we'll just have to see who wins in the ceremony.
And if I ever edit these episodes, because I've only got a week to release them.
Oh my god. So if they do end up going out and you are listening, tell us what you think. Have you seen any of these films? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Do you think any of them were missing off of the list?
Do you too want Sam Rockwell to look in your eyes and call you kid? Because I do. I do.
Just let us know on Twitter. We're still there, unfortunately.
And especially if you're Sam Rockwell, please call me.
And Instagram at WRatedPod.
Yeah.
So we'd love to hear from you. And hopefully, if these do come out, which I'm sure that they will, after this, we'll be getting back to some regular scheduled programming.
Yeah, as long as I don't continue to spill paint all over my hallway, maybe I'll have time to edit things.
Always 7.
Always 7. Cool. Au revoir.
Thanks for listening.